I'm going to do an insight video today. I've been talking about a lot about self-realization, self-creation or creator and creation. Yesterday I was sitting there and just doing a bit of meditating yesterday, and I was sort of given a vision of like a golden pyramid or a golden triangle, and they were sort of like explaining sort of like the symbolic meaning of this yesterday. So when I saw this triangle yesterday, this golden triangle, I was just connecting in to like source energy and connecting into like the flow of like source energy, source like divine intelligence or divine sort of flow or source flow of infinite consciousness, infinite creation, and it was connecting sort of like to dimensions and reality and consciousness of how to sort of like align with source energy and bring consciousness in within your reality, which is all connected to like the source creator and like creation, but also to self-realization and the infinite self. And when I was looking at this golden triangle yesterday, so gold to me is always source, and it's sort of like it's always been the color that when I sort of like when I was when I'm sort of like as a channel for healing, I've always seen golden energy. So like if I was to close my eyes, I see this golden light, and it's like source energy, source vibration, source frequency. So yesterday I was sort of like I was in this sort of like meditation yesterday, and I was sort of aligning using a few crystals. And when I was sort of like in this meditation yesterday, they showed me this golden triangle, this golden pyramid. So pyramids as well, to me are like sort of like consciousness and like frequency, but they're also like they're like these doorways to like higher consciousness, higher frequency. So pyramids are sort of like that's how I see them. I see them as this kind of sort of like keys of consciousness, get like sort of a way of sort of like connecting and aligning to infinite consciousness. And they showed me this golden pyramid with like an eye on it. So it's like this infinite eye, which is the all-seeing eye, which is again relates to like symbolic, relates to source and relates to consciousness, and the infinite realities, the infinite dimensions, and this goal, this big infinite eye. And the infinite eye is also symbolic of you as this infinite, that's the I am presence, and as this being that's connected to like source energy and the availability within like the eternal now, the eternal moment. And then they showed me like this golden triangle, and in the center of the triangle was consciousness. So like the infinite I is this sense of um, source energy and source vibration, but also the fact that you are connected and aligned to it. You're always aligned to it. You're never separate from it. And so the infinite I is telling you that whatever you wish to be, you already are, and there's always the availability within this eternal moment, the eternal now, that you can access at any time. And the infinite I was symbolic of this, so that it's everywhere and it's always available. There's nothing, you're never separate from it. And then in the center of the triangle there was consciousness. So in the center of that is consciousness, which is the energy, which is consciousness is energy that then is sort of like comes from these infinite dimensions, these infinite realms. And the infinite I is like source energy that's always available and is always there. And all you have to do is sort of like be conscious and be aware of it. And when you're conscious and aware of it, then you actually start to then bring this energy down from formless reality into this physical reality. But in that formless reality, there's infinite potential, infinite opportunities that are always available. And it's like all you have to do is be in that space, be in this. Again, they were talking about yesterday, they were talking about stillness. And stillness again is people talk about stillness as like an acceleration, so an acceleration to like moving into that space. But for me, stillness was this infinite expansiveness. And stillness is also sort of like where you sit within yourself. So I had an experience of stillness yesterday where and bliss, I like to use the word bliss as well. So bliss to me and stillness is where you sit in the energy, and as you sit in the energy and you sit in the stillness, then you become light and you become consciousness, you become creation. And sitting in that energy, you feel like your energy just lights up, and it's like this lighting up of like this. My whole like being was full of energy and light. And as I was when I was full of this energy and light, it was like complete sort of like peace and complete sort of like connection, but also like a sense of no worry, no fear, no doubt. It was just like a pure sort of like knowing that everything is just there and is available, and nothing is, you know, everything is happening for you, and through you and as you. So there's like this sense of true connection. And the bottom part of the triangle, each sort of like side of it, it's like the left and the right. There was creation and self-realization, and they're two nor you know two more vibrations. And when we talk about these words, they're vibrations, they're energy, they're frequency. So like self-realization is the understanding, and the awakening and the awareness that you as a being have this eternal moment that you can access at any time. And you know, creation goes in hand, because when you have that self-realization and creation, then you're in the eternal moment. You're in that source energy, that source frequency, where you can access that energy, and it's always available. There's nothing sort of like separate from you, and you're always vibrating in this frequency, and you're always aligned. And the you know, and in a sense, and again, it's this like you are the creator, and you are creation of your own reality. Basically, it's all there. There's nothing you need to do. You just need to be aligned. It's not even you need to, but you just align to it. You just spend self-realization is the understanding. The more that you sort of live in this space of stillness and bliss, and the more that you're open, the more that you're always receiving, and there's always energy coming in, it's always flowing in, and it's always guiding you, and all you have to do is follow the energy. uh, and that, you know, your well-being is self-assured. It's always self-assured if you stay at this, or if you live in this or express at this level of consciousness and creation. And that this is your purpose. This is everybody's purpose. This is where we're all supposed to be. And this is what this shifting is, to like the sixth dimensional consciousness and understanding though of creation. And then once you shift to that sixth dimension, then you also open up these infinite dimensions that you can start. And we're all channels all the time. We're always receiving, we're always giving, but we're always receiving. And it's like the more that you know that you're this channel, the more that you understand that you're receiving all the time. And this is what this symbolic sort of vision was as well, with the golden triangle and the infinite I am, is that you're always receiving. You're a channel to receive this, and in the eternal moment. And in that moment, you're always connected. You're always aligned. You're always in union, and it's always available. It's never not available. It always has been available and always will be available. You know, the only time that it's not available and you feel separate is when you sort of like shift your consciousness to, or your level of awareness to levels where you feel things are happening to you, not for you. You know, where you start feeling like everything's happening at you. And it's also this notion of like the 3D dimension, where you see everything out there. If you attach to out there, then you're seeing as things happening to you, and you're seeing like the dramas and the experiences and of the external reality, which is the 3D reality of the physical world, the out there world. You see it as happening to you, and if you connect to that, then you focus on it, and then what happens is your consciousness and your ability to be the channel and receive, lowers in frequency, lowers in vibration. And when by doing that, then you feel like the lower energies, you feel a heaviness, you feel like things are happening to you, you feel like you're out of control, you feel triggered, you feel anxious about experiences and things that are going on, you feel stress, you feel anxiety. Is it when you live in the eternal moment, you live in infinite potentials, you don't feel that. You feel a sense of peace, you feel a sense of alignment, and that everything comes from you. So nothing that's happening to you, you know, you just dissolve it in the moment and you release things, but you also receive that infinite consciousness that of things that are trying to align with you and direct you, and you follow the energy. And this is your infinite self, this is your infinite consciousness, this is creation, this is self-realization. These are all these things happening at once, and this is what this time and age is about. And this is why many of us are feeling this shift, because we've been so long connected to a 3D reality, a reality of things happening to us, not like a 4D reality of transformation, and a 5D reality of where they talk about sort of like union and light and energy and this sense connection, where you know, and then they start talking about like heaven on earth, which is the fifth dimension. So they're just the levels of frequency, the levels of consciousness, the levels of awareness. And when the more we can sort of like align to that eternal moment, the eternal moment of now, we start to realize that we can create whatever we want within us. You know, and you create what you are. The more you create, if you create sort of like, you get more of what you are, not what you want. So it's a sense of like everything has to be created within you first, and this is why this sacred space is so important. And this is part of self-realization. It's like the more you do it, the more light flows through you, the more light flows through your consciousness, your through creation and expression, but also flows through your frequency, your energy field, you, and because we're all energy, we're all vibrations, we're all frequencies. And this is how you know, being in that state where you're connected to your source, vibration and frequency, and you're not living in the mind, but you're living in your energy, in your center. The more you express from a place of light consciousness, light creation, and infinite potential and infinite opportunities. And it's all about living within that space. It's not even living, it's expressing through that space, because energy is a sensation, it's an expression. And the more that we express through that, the more that we become open as these channels, as an open channel for things to flow to. You know, and it's a case, connects to this sort of like this sense of, you know, when you look at the affinity symbol, they say it's always horizontal, but I tend to see it vertically. But the affinity symbol is about this infinite flow of energy coming to you, expressing it, and then sort of like through expressing it, it creates reality. So it's this infinite flow, of infinite consciousness, infinite vibrations, infinite frequencies, infinite flow of energy into your consciousness, into your energy field, so that you can express, and connect to these infinite dimensions and source energy in itself, which source energy is always available, it's always flowing into us. And by following the energy and following the light, what you're doing is you're aligning to your soul's purpose, your soul's um, vision, but also you're connecting to your infinite self. And you know, your infinite self is this expansive space of energy that's always flowing in and always unified with you, always flowing to you, always available. And this is source energy, and this is waking up, and having awareness and being consciously aware of expressing through source. I used to use the words living through source, but now I think it's expressing through source, expressing source within the eternal moment and within the eternal now. And it's available to each and every one of us always. And all we have to do is just remain in that energy and not get attached, and not try and effort stuff to create, and just know that if you're in that space, you're already receiving the highest, no, the infinite, vision, or the purpose, or your soul's presence and your soul's purpose, your soul's vision. By being in that space, you're allowing things to flow without trying to effort them and not looking for the outcome or the goal. What you're doing is you're just remaining in that space, and when you do that, that's when you start to open up and you start to access these infinite, sort of like frequencies of potential within the formless realities. And this is what this time and age is about, and this is what's happening for many of us. So you know, each and every one of you is just taking time to start to sit in that expansive energy and feel it, and feel what it's like, feel what it feel like, feel what it feels like to you. And the more that you do that, and stop focusing on the out there world, because the out there world is never gonna, it's not going to bring you sort of like success, or it's not going to bring you, because the out there world is on that 3D, vibration and frequency. And the more we attach to that, or the more we focus on that, the more we feel like things are out of control and things are happening to us, and then we're not actually allowing things to flow through us. So you know, it's just taking that time and being aware and being consciously open. And the more we do that, the more that our life will align with that infinite vision that we, you know, our soul, and our infinite self, and you know, the infinite dimension, the realities of source, and the infinite beings that are guiding and working with us are bringing through for us, so that we can then be aligned and be unified within that vision, but also with the other dimensions and realities. Well, that's the insight for today anyway. Have a great day. Please comment, subscribe, share. um, yeah, like, have a great day.